Okay, it is another podcast here, the LB Pod, and today we are here to discuss the Premier League, who we think is going to win the Premier League, or who is going to challenge Arsenal or prevent Arsenal from defending their title. So, Stana, let's start like this. First of all, do you think Arsenal have what it takes to defend the Premier League title? What have you seen so far in terms of their signings, their preseason games? Do you have any signs that Arsenal are going to kick on and maintain or defend the Premier League?
Yeah, good question. I think Arsenal is still a stable side. I haven't watched any of their games in preseason, so I can't talk of tactics or anything like that, any improvement or anything
Mm,
different I've seen Arteta do. I can't talk of that. I just think they are still a stable side, and if a team wins a title and they are stable, all their players are available, they are not aging, they've gained experience, they have the experience of winning. Plus, they also have the added incentive of the monkey off their backs in terms of becoming second consecutively, and now they've won. So that pressure, that monkey is off their back, so they can play. So from that aspect, I still think Arsenal have everything it takes to win. Plus, they brought in a very good midfielder in Bruno Guimaraes, who I think is a very good addition for Arsenal.
yeah, for me, I think my thinking is a bit different. I don't think they will be able to defend the Premier League title. And it is due to a number of reasons. The first
Uh-huh.
one is that history doesn't tell us that it is normal for the defending champion to go on and win it again. It is the exception rather than the rule. So that is the number one. Number two, it looks like Arsenal are a bit tired. They are quite fatigued, given the sort of runs they've had in previous seasons. So they've been trying to win this for a very, very long time. This is the fourth try that they were able to win it. So going again after trying three times and failing, and going again after the fourth try, I think is going to take a lot out of them. And I don't think they would be able to make enough signings to freshen up the squad. For them to be able to go again, I think they need a lot of freshening up. And I haven't seen that happen. I'm not sure it's going to happen. And when I also look at their preseason games, I'm not saying that. So they lost today against Dortmund. They also lost their last preseason game. I've forgotten the team they lost against. I think it was Girona or one of the no Real Betis. They lost
Okay.
to Real Betis before this one. So I'm not saying that I'm not basing my analysis on the result, but looking at how Arsenal play, it hasn't changed. It is the same. It is they want to rely on set pieces. They want to control the game, tippy tappy, move the ball slowly, and try to see if something happens. They haven't really taken off the shackles like you were saying, even though they've won the Premier League. Arteta is still going by the same way, because if the formula has worked for him to win the Premier League, why change it? I think that is his thinking right now. When I look at the performances in the preseason games, it looks like I've used a particular formula. It has worked. So I'm not going to change it. We are going to stick to it. We are going to try and do it better next time. So they are going to double down. That is why they brought in someone like Bruno Guimaraes. He's going to double down on playing the way he played last season, trying to be very difficult to beat first and foremost, and then they'll try and get a goal here and there. So I think mainly what I'm thinking is that it depends very much on the other teams whether they are going to be able to challenge. Arsenal are
Okay.
going to be Arsenal.
So
They are pretty
question.
much going to try and do the same thing they did last season. But we saw how they ended the season last season. It was a bit of a struggle, but nobody was there to take advantage of it. So it depends on the rest if someone can step up and try to take advantage of it. You were saying something.
Yeah, all right. With that being said, in terms of the points total that Arsenal won the league with, who do you think, or which team do you think is best placed to get a similar amount of points in the league? Because I think if, even though you say Arsenal might not win, I still think they get to around 70 points. Which other
Oh yeah,
team
yeah, yeah.
think will get to those sort of points, and then we could talk about a title charge for maybe any other team, a United, a
You know
City.
what? You know what? I have a somewhat crazy idea about it, but if you really think about it, what I'm about to say, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think Man United are going to push Arsenal for this title.
United.
That is something I've been thinking about in the past few weeks. Looking at how Carrick came in last season, the points tally that he was able to amass from the
Mm,
time Carrick took charge till the end
mm.
of the season, he had the highest points tally. So it means that if he had started the season, right? If in football, if 1 plus 1 was equal to 2 in football, it means that if he had started the season, Carrick would have won the league.
Well, 1 plus 1 is not
Because
equal.
1 plus 1 is not equal to 2 in football, there's no point in even making that argument. But
Yeah.
going into a new season, Carrick has had enough time to work with the players now. We've seen that the performances or the increase in their performances after Carrick came in was not a new manager bounce. It is no more a new manager bounce because they are still winning, even in preseason. It is not just winning. When you look at the way they are playing, it is the same way they played last season to beat teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, City. They were able to beat those teams. They played against PSG yesterday. I'm not saying that because they got a draw, they did well and they are going to beat everybody. But I look at the way they play, it is repeated. They have a lot of repeated patterns that I see from even from last season. Quick transitions, quick one-touch football, very, very difficult to defend. So what Carrick is doing is that they are playing with speed, and speed is very difficult to defend. So they
Mhm.
don't allow you to settle back into your shape. They win the ball back, and it is 1-2 passes. It is inside. So I'm looking at Manchester United, and I'm quite scared. I don't like saying this as a Liverpool fan that Man U may end up winning the league or challenging for the title, but I think they are going to push us now very, very hard.
Okay, that's interesting.
What
I
about
mean,
you? Who do you think is going to push Arsenal the most? If anything, let's say Arsenal are going to take the lead. Who is going to push them? Who is going to try and win it? I know City are in the conversation, but I have a funny feeling that Man U might be able to pull something.
yeah, I mean, you make very good points. My reservations with United also stems from the fact that I think now Michael Carrick will be a known entity. Managers next season at a point will figure him out, and he will need to adapt to that. So we'll see how he responds when his tactics or the teams he's facing. For example, we know Arne Slot winning the league in his first season. The very next season, he was always complaining about how teams approach Liverpool because whenever he was facing different teams, the way that they had played in previous games, they come and face Liverpool and they change completely, go the other way. And they caught Arne Slot by surprise because they were trying to do a different thing to just offset what Arne Slot felt they would bring in. So in the Premier League, those things you get tested with them over and over again. And I feel that is the one stumbling block that Michael Carrick might tend to struggle with a little bit because now teams will would know that this is who Michael Carrick is, this is what Man United is. So this is how we think we also want to set up and try to nullify Man United's strength. But I think United will have a decent season, I still believe. But I was looking more at Manchester City. I've also watched a couple of their preseason games. I mean, I think it's the obvious contender for most people as well. I think he's trying to repeat a
Mm,
lot of the things that they've done under Pep Guardiola. I see them without the ball trying to do the front press with a 4-2-4, the front four that we saw, like how they were trying to do up the ball under Pep Guardiola last season. I see similar patterns. I've seen how fresh and how sharp Antoine Semenyo looks in preseason. I'm really looking forward to watching him this season. Erling Haaland looks like he is not really back yet, but of course, Erling Haaland is guaranteed to give you 20-25 goals. And that is the one thing that I'm banking on. The fact that I always feel Manchester City is a sort of side that they just guarantee you goals. Erling
Mm.
Haaland, Antoine Semenyo. I think that two pair are guaranteed to give you 30, 35 goals between them. And I think guaranteed goals is something you need if you want to push for the title. You need guaranteed goals. And so Erling Haaland guarantees you goal. I think Semenyo will guarantee you at least 12 to 15 Premier League goals from what we've seen him do 2 seasons ago and the last season. So I think Maresca, he has a decent team. Of course, he will lose Rodri. He has lost Bernardo Silva, but I think they needed that already. I think they needed to freshen up. They brought in Elliot Anderson as
Mm.
well. I think they do have a very decent squad. Donnarumma is also still around. So I think that is the side that I will be looking at to give Arsenal their run for their money.
Yeah, but what what do you think Rodri's absence, especially, would do to Maresca's chances? Because it looks like those new guys that he's brought in, Elliot Anderson, and those guys, they are still new to this sort of marathon because they need the experience. And Rodri was a big part of the reasons
Mm.
why City were able to go like to do the four-peat, like four in a row. So I think Rodri's absence is the reason, one of the main reasons why I think City might not be able to do it. Also, Maresca in the Premier League, we've seen him in the Premier League, a bit of inconsistencies here and there is something that is going to worry him because even in his championship season with Leicester, he was a bit inconsistent. Getting to
Yeah.
the latter stages of the season, he was drawing and losing games. So when it comes to his mentality as a manager and trying to push the players to win every day, he's not at the level of Klopp and Pep Guardiola for me. Um, so that is why I'm not too sure about
Mm.
Maresca's chances. But let's also look at Chelsea. Xabi Alonso at Chelsea. Do you give him any chance of sort of trying to compete for the title, or you think it's a tough four fight for Chelsea?
Yeah, for me, it is Arsenal, Manchester City, Man United. Those are the three teams I would say have a chance for Chelsea, Liverpool. I think those are the outside. They have an outside chance. That is what I would say. I think Chelsea, um, in preseason, a bit on and off. They've lost a few games, won a few games as well. Xabi Alonso is trying new things. I've seen what he's trying to do. Watched a couple of their preseason games. Um, he
Mm,
has tried to bring in players. I think Palestri and the wing back that they brought in looks very decent. They still haven't. I think Chelsea still need a goalkeeper. That is one key area that they. It looks like Robert Sanchez will be the one to be imposed. But I think the one game a week factor is something that will be massive for him in terms of keeping players fresh so he can be able to work with a core 14, 15 player that can play every 5 days interval. Well, depending on where they will get to in the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But I think the lack of the Champions League might be a blessing in disguise for Xabi Alonso in terms of the players being fresh week in week out for him to play with them. And I think if he is able to get the best out of the double number 10 that he brought in Kopama, who is already at the club, and then Morgan Rogers, I think Chelsea
mm,
a decent season. It's just the inconsistency that Chelsea. I think on a very good day, Chelsea can square up to anybody in the Premier League. It is just about week in week out being 8 out of 10 every week, which has been a major factor even under Maresca.
okay. What about our own beloved club, Liverpool? Is there any chance, maybe 5% chance that Liverpool can win the Premier League or challenge for the title? My take is that Liverpool are not going to start very well this season, but towards the end of the season, we can go on a run, and that could sort of put us in the conversation a little bit. But I'm afraid it might be a bit too late when Liverpool pick up the pieces to try and challenge. And also, I'm quite pessimistic. Quite worried about injuries in Liverpool's case. I think the possibility of injuries is quite high. We have a few injury prone players here
Yeah.
and there. The manager would have to really, really squeeze everything out of the squad, including those players who are on the fringes, the academy boys, and all that. So that is why I think it's going to be a bit difficult. For example, if there's an injury to Isak or Florian Wirtz, I think it's going to be a massive blow to the team. So how do you see Liverpool's chances genuinely? Is it a top four fight at best?
Yeah, I think for me, it's a top five charge at best, and I completely agree with what you said in your assessment. I think Liverpool will have a good run in the back end of the season. I think Liverpool will do well. We will have a very inconsistent season from now till December, but I think from February there we will have, because I think you look at the training intensity and the game intensity, I think we will have quite a few injuries at the start. But I think as the season progresses, the players will get used to the intensity of what we are trying to do. They will start to get the messages will start becoming more clearer to them as well. And I think when some of the players return, we will have a good end to the season, which, like you said, won't be enough. So for me, I think Liverpool season will be a top five challenge, and trying to maintain and maintain us in terms of finishing in the Champions League places again this season.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. What about the other teams? We are going to have a lot of new managers in the Premier League this season. So the likes of Tottenham Hotspurs, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Newcastle United,
Mm.
even the likes of Coventry City coming in with Frank Lampard and so on. So I think this season is going to be a bit more exciting than last season. We are going to see more attacking style of football than we saw last season. That is my feeling because of the coaches that I'm seeing those teams coming with. The Bournemouth guy, he was at Leipzig some time ago. We also have Abeloa as well at Fulham. So there are a lot of new managers, different style of play, more attacking, more taking the initiative rather than trying to sit back and defend. So maybe I think that is going to play into the hands of some of the big teams. So yeah, how do you see that affecting the kind of football we are going to see, the entertainment value compared to last season?
Yeah, I think I completely agree. The entertainment side of it, because I think there's a lot of uncertainties this season. Roberto De Zerbi brought in Van Heck, Senesi, Tonali, all those guys, but I still don't know where their goals are coming from, because the attack isn't. They haven't beat out the attack yet. They are banking on Mohamed Kudus coming back from injury. I'll be excited to see how he plays under the Zerbi and how he improves. But I think they will also do. I think they will qualify for Europe this year. That is my feeling for Tottenham Hotspur. Aston Villa, due to PSR, they are not able to kick on. They've sold their players. But United is still a top manager. I think they will do all right. I don't think they will qualify for the Champions League again, because they are in the Champions League this season, and that will take a massive toll on them. And I haven't seen them bring in many players as well. Newcastle, Eddie Howe is out of the door. There's a new manager. Nottingham Forest, Oliver Glasner. How will he also do at Nottingham Forest? I think that is a side that I am also very wary of. I think Oliver Glasner, um, you know how well I rate him, and I think Nottingham Forest is one team that I think will have a nicer chance of qualifying for Europe this season and Oliver Glasner. And I haven't seen anything yet. I'm just banking on the the, the tactical or the managerial quality of Oliver Glasner as a manager. We'll see how Abeloa also does at Fulham. Marco Silva being there for a number of years, he made them a stable Premier League side. And Abeloa, I'm not too optimistic about Abeloa being at Fulham. I think he might have a difficult spell in the beginning, but we'll see how that also goes. So I think this will be a very exciting season to watch.
Yeah, yeah, looking forward to a very exciting one this particular season. I don't I'm hoping it's not going to be the same old set pieces, corners, shithousery type of
especially
football. That
since
was awful to
comes to the
watch.
is the new rules that are coming in to prevent those tiny fouls and shithousery in the box. I think when if the referees are able to stamp on those things, the games will be much. We will play much more football. We will play more football on the pitch, and that is what we want to see this season.
Mm, yeah, definitely. That is what we are expecting to see this coming season. So, guys, thank you very much for joining the show. Make sure you like, subscribe if you are new here, and also share the video. Comment down below as well. Let us know your thoughts about the coming season in 2026-27. We'll see you later on. Stay tuned and watch out for more videos. Thank you.